Hi, I'm Leanne Harris, CEO for Keller Williams Portland Central, and today on Getting to Know Your Realtor, we're talking to Norm Transeth today. Hi, Norm. How are you today?
Good. How you doing, Leanne?
Good. I'm super excited to chat with you. A couple years ago, of course, before coronavirus, you and I had the chance to go out to barbecue. I lost you in some live music venue, and it's when I found out that you absolutely love live music and you follow bands around. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, last year I flew to New York to watch a wonderful artist have a album release in a little bar that she started out in Brooklyn, and it was absolutely amazing. So I will fly anywhere in the country, hopefully someday the world, to see, music and see live music is my passion. So
yeah. Did I send you Hudson's new song? Elaine?
No, you haven't.
Okay, I'm gonna send it to you. I sent it to Katie, or maybe I posted on Facebook, but definitely I'll send you my son's new music that he's got coming out.
I would love that. Yes, definitely. 100%. I can't wait till it comes back. I mean, it's one of the main reasons I moved to Portland. Was for the music.
Yeah, I mean, and then we've had all the restaurants shut down, and that's really affected the commercial real estate industry. And I know that you're going gangbusters in residential real estate, but yeah, I'm definitely hoping that Portland comes back around full circle with restaurants and venues and music and things like that for sure.
I think that the lifeblood of this community, this city, is around that. It's festivals, and it is getting people getting out and interacting. I mean, the one thing I love about the city is when the rain stops, I mean, this whole city comes alive, and I believe it will come back. Yeah, it'll come back. It'll come back twice as strong as ever. So I'm looking forward to that for sure.
Me too. I definitely I'm finally vaccinated and I feel less stressed.
Yeah. And I'm vaccinated too, so I'm like living the dream.
I love it. I'm everybody there. So, well, tell us your journey in real estate. I had the pleasure of getting to know you when I don't know how many years it's been now. How long has it been since we've known each other? 7 years?
I came to the brokerage around 2015.
Oh, cool.
15 was, when I was there for a couple of months getting my license. So I was very fortunate to have an agent that was like, hey, this would be perfect for you. Let me get you on my team. You can sit in my office. You can just take the schooling 8 hours a day. Yeah. I'll get you your license in 30 days. I was like, what? Okay. So I did that. And it was a great way to do that, because I got to be around them talking about real estate and doing their lead gen. So I got to hear it and see it while I was learning. Yeah. So that was I was very fortunate for that situation.
That's awesome. So Why did you decide to get into real estate? Let's talk about the journey of how you actually got here to start serving clients.
Right. Well, I think the journey started when I was little, because my mom just loved taking us to look at houses and buy houses. Right. So I just grew up going to open houses and new construction, remodeling models. And one of the things that it always kind of appealed to me, I wanted to buy and sell real estate. I ended up getting into construction, and I was a low voltage contractor in California. I did a lot of new construction, that kind of stuff. And then my path kind of turned, and I ended up in a marketing company, and I was working with a lot of real estate agents, helping them market their business. Yeah. And then, because of my background, I was like, I'm going to be a home inspector. It was actually Katie, my sister-in-law, who works at our brokerage, who was like, you should do a home inspection. So I did the whole schooling for that, and really kind of thought, do I want to crawl around in houses and do this? And
yeah, you're such an outgoing guy. I can't imagine you completely in the dark crawling with
right. Exactly. So I think for my personality, after learning about it, and that the agent that was like, no, I can help you get your license, you'd be better as an agent. I did that, and that's kind of what led me to real estate, to getting into it. And so I had that kind of background knowledge of home inspection. So I had a little working knowledge of what to look for. And then, I had some background in my marketing. I had a lot of background with, dealing with people and talking to them about increasing their business and stuff. So I felt like it was a good fit. Yeah. And I just jumped all in.
Well, it's definitely a good fit. You can tell by your numbers. You're on fire. You're always in the top 15. So give us some nuggets, 3 nuggets to walk away with.
Well, I mean, when it comes down to it, it's really, you have to have a love for the process, for helping people. I take immense pride in the fact that people are entrusting me to help them and help them through this process to buying what could be one of the biggest financial purchases they make in their life, or at that time. I love working with first-time home buyers, helping people get into, you know, a home that they can build wealth from, or that they can have a family. It just means the world to me, and I believe if you love what you're doing, you'll be successful. So my biggest tidbit for anybody would be love it. You have to love it. This is a life choice, not a career option. You do this, it's all in, right?
It really
So
is. And I
yeah,
think
that's
what a lot of people don't understand is that even though the banks and the escrow companies aren't open after hours and the weekends, and that we really do, I think this industry as a whole needs to really learn how to be more professional of trying to keep that in the lines of that. And I'm not saying that you're a banker of the Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And what I'm saying is that real estate crawls into every area of your life.
it
And you
does.
have to be very diligent about keeping it in the lines of what's comfortable for you as a person. Otherwise, it's just gangbusters all over the board. So,
It really is. And I think a big part of it also is, we're always told don't get attached to the outcome.
right.
Don't get attached to the outcome. But I do. I get attached to the outcome of the relationship that I build with my clients.
Yeah.
That to me is sacred. And, I think that when I found the ability to connect, to understand what they're going through and how can I make it, we can't make this stress-free. It's just impossible. It's a very stressful process. But if we can shed some light and bring some happiness to the process and show them and help them understand that when this is done, when you get this, when I hand you those keys, man, life is going to be, whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, one thing that I take very seriously is, that connection that I make with my clients. That to me is
I think
paramount.
it's seriously too, because I've heard the write-ups about you, and I think that they really get connected to you through the process as well. And I mean, that's kind of the beautiful thing, is that you're kind of done with a client at 35 to 40 days, but it doesn't appear that way in your database. It seems like they've become lifelong friends with you.
Oh yeah, they're family, right? They're invited. All my clients are invited to my house, right? So, and that's and that was one of the things in my journey. When we asked about my journey, that team that I first joined, which I was very fortunate to be a part of, they had a different style on how they ran their business.
Yeah.
I can't look at things as numbers, and I look at it as relational. And I was very fortunate to meet a well-established agent, amazing agent in our office that mentored me and guided me to find my true calling. And what that is building a business based on referrals and how to nurture and grow that business. I thought when I got into real estate, I need to know thousands of people, and it's going to take me 30 years to build this amazing referral business. But it's not. Honestly, you need one client to start a referral business. And you water that plant, and it'll grow, and it'll feed you. And that's, to me, what I found. The highs of my career have been helping these families, and then helping their family, their friends, and growing a business by referral has just been.
That's really cool. All right, what other nuggets?
Care, believe in the process, and if you love what you do and you care about the outcome for them, that's really what it is. Listen, ask the questions, ask the hard questions, tell them the hard things they need to hear. Sometimes the hardest thing to tell somebody is like, I'm sorry, the 3-2 with the beautiful yard on the quiet street is not going to be an option at this point.
Right.
And then, but showing them, hey, this might not be the area that you can, be in, but how about I show you an area that I think you're going to love?
Yeah.
And stretching people's boundaries, I think is really the key to it, is getting people to see what it's like in other areas of the city. The city isn't bound by a big circle right
Right.
around the heart of Portland. There's vibrant, growing areas all over the city that just need a little love.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was reading an article from a Harvard Business Review, and it was about people have lost trust in their leaders. And I'll use leaders as a trusted advisor. You know, maybe that's your fiduciary, your real estate agent, you know, whoever that might be. But people have lost trust in their leaders. And the reason why they've lost trust in their leaders is because they're disconnected through Zoom.
Mhm.
And I think one of the reasons why real estate agents that are going to have a good business that did well in 2020 was because you have to be face to face still with your clients, even though you're socially distanced and you're masked. Did you find that there was any clients during this time, like you say, the care part of it? Let me go show you these houses. So clearly, that we're talking about buyers here. Did you find anybody that was really, I need to buy a house, I'm going to be homeless, and I can't meet you in person? Because I haven't heard that.
Yeah, I haven't either. I
Yeah.
mean, I've been fortunate not to really run into that.
I almost
Um,
wonder if people, it went so crazy. We have 0.08 months of inventory. Now that I'm thinking about it and I'm saying it out loud and I'm epiphany on a call with you, is like maybe we just needed to be around a human and this was our excuse. Like,
yeah, yeah, it's the unfortunate side is, what has happened to this country and the world in the last 7 or 8 months.
yeah.
But the one thing that I've really taken pride in, I've been very fortunate for, is our business is, I wasn't affected in the way a lot of people were at my daily routine, right? I could still come into my office, socially distanced. I still met small groups of my, clients and looked at homes that were, so, and that was the same thing I was doing before, right?
Yeah.
So I feel the pain of a lot of people. And I do see when I meet some clients that are working from home, that have the kids homeschool, how excited they are to just be out looking at homes. At the same time, I feel the pain of, the people that are listing their homes that, you're letting these people in. I mean, there's a lot of risk to that too. So I take great care to make sure that we do the things that we need to do, wear the booties, don't touch anything. I open up the closets, a few people in at a time. So it's just being mindful for everybody's situation. But
Yeah. What's funny is 2019, I think, I've talked to you about this before, but I sold my house and not knowing that a pandemic was coming, right? And I went quote unquote homeless. I went to an apartment in between because I knew what the market was. And if I wanted to get into the house that I wanted, I knew that there was going to be some wait time. And I didn't want to do this, like sell my house and have to race and pick a house and all that stuff. Have you had to coach people? And I think that this is one of the things that sellers need to remember, is that temporary housing in between finding your next great house is not a bad thing. Like, I really enjoyed it. I got to be in an area of the city that I never would have been in. I rented an apartment for a year, and I looked for my dream house for really, for a year. I saw a lot of houses, but I didn't feel the chaos that a lot of these buyers feel.
Yes. I mean, I think that, we're kind of coming into such a crazy, situation in the market where the inventory is so low. If people decide to sell, are they going to be able to get into a house? How many offers do they need to write?
They're stressing
So,
out.
yeah, I definitely talk to, my clients about that. But at the same time, I mean, it's becoming a part of negotiations on rent back periods and what that looks like. I mean, before the pandemic, I'd never negotiated a 60-day rent back, and now that's, I've done that multiple times, right? So
That's I bought a 90-day rent back.
yeah, right. And then, but also at the same time, there's some 30-day, month-to-month Airbnb options. They don't have to get into it. A lot of people are worried about leases and this. So I have not had the opportunity to run into a client that has had a hard time. But I know it's out there and it's scary for a lot of sellers. I think if, gosh, I've been fortunate. Most of my sellers are like leaving the city.
Yeah.
So it hasn't been an issue, but
Gosh, with things going 150 over asking price, I'm like, just get your house on the market if you're
yeah,
even considering it. Like, I
a
don't
house
know.
just hit the market. My client sent it to me, and I literally looked at it and said, "We're going to have to come in $150,000."
Yes. I'm like, what? Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, so
I'm watching
it,
offers come into the brokerage, through Amy, our principal broker, and I'm just like, whoa, you know. So
it's the Wild West right now, right?
that
But
it's true. It's true. What other nugget? Do you have any other nuggets? Another one for us?
I really, my main thing is, take care of your clients,
Yeah.
reach out, don't be afraid. You don't have to call them every week, every day. When you think of them, drop a line, tell them you're thinking about them. This stuff goes a long way with a lot of people. I care deeply for my clients, and I think that they know that, and that's really what this is about. Getting into real estate, you have to love relationships. You have to care about them.
Yeah.
I care deeply for my clients, and I feel the pain when they lose. I feel the win. So, it's an emotional roller coaster, but it is the most fulfilling thing I've ever done in my life.
I love
It truly is. And that would be my best thing, is just love it. Just go with it. It's not going to be easy.
Yeah.
It's filled with a lot of tears, but it's also a lot of tears of joy too. So
Yes, for sure. Well, I do love that you give a lot of expectation with your clients up front. And I think that, quite honestly, customer service is about expectations. I
yes.
don't think that it has to be an amazing red carpet. Like, red carpet rollout for me is telling me what is coming. That's all it is. And I think a lot of people really, they forget that the typical client, and even myself being a typical client, I had not bought a house in 17 years other than investment properties, but I had no emotional ties to it. And so you got to get back into that. And I know I've talked about that on different podcasts, so I apologize to listeners that have already heard my stupid story. But the point is that we've got to remember that people don't do this every day like you do,
Right.
Norm. And
Yeah.
like so the expectations that I've seen you lay out for your clients is really I think what they thrive in, and why you have so many return and referral clients.
Well, and that's the thing. And I tell all my clients this, whether if this is your first home or if this is your 15th home, it's the first one with me, if it is. And I treat it as such. So, I believe in, there's no, the cliche of there's no stupid question, or there's no bad question. There
Yeah.
really isn't. And that's the thing is, let me know as soon as it pops in your head. Don't feel like, oh, I don't want to bother them with this, because it's that little question that doesn't go answered that builds and builds and builds. And then there was a missed opportunity there. So I do try to let anybody I work with just ask me anything. You can ask me where I got my shoes. I will answer any question you ask me. And because it's important, this is a major, major thing you're doing.
Oh, you're a connector too. I forgot about this part too. So you're a massive connector. So if I called you and I was like, so Norm, I really like your shoes, you probably would know the person at such a deep level that you'd
I
be
would
like,
send you.
connect you via, and they'll have all the shoes picked out for you. Like, you're such a good connector too.
I got a guy, right?
I got a guy. Exactly. So, before I ask you about the book, I really want to stress in the middle here, you and I have got to go have barbecues someday soon.
Yes.
Right? I need a date.
And then we gotta go to a concert.
Yes.
Right? Like, we gotta go see some music. You, Casey, and I, the whole crew. Like,
Yeah.
any day. You name the day, I'll be there.
I love it. Okay, so if you were going to write a book, what would it be about?
It'd be a long title. I think, the main thing I would want to write a book about, it truly isn't how many times you get knocked down in life, right? It's how fast you get up.
Yeah.
And anybody, it's so easy to be knocked down and to be thrown off course, and to take that weight and just let it bury you. Get back up. Don't be afraid. My book would be about, how to dress snappy and how to get back up on your feet.
I'm always like, put your lip gloss on, let's roll.
You know what I mean? Like, the dream is out there. It's yours. Anybody can have it. And if you work hard and you do right by people and care, you know, you're going to have a wonderful, amazing life. Gratitude, 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 right? You know, they always say location, 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 but I truly believe it's about gratitude. And if you have that on everything that you have in your life, I'm so grateful to be sitting here, you know, with you and having you want to talk to me, man, that's amazing, right?
Oh my gosh, is that why you ran from me for so long?
I did. I'm like, yeah, that's
I
right.
had to have like 3 staff members track you down. I was like, you tell Norm, he's got to
People were popping out of bushes. What are you gonna do?
like in your house. Well, I think what it is Norm, you're that person that has that contagious energy. And I think that people that walk through life that with that contagious energy, people want it. People want to have a piece of it. And it can feel a little zappy and sometimes. How do you stay so positive and so full of gratitude? Like, what do you do for self-care? Is there anything that you can give the listeners on that piece of it?
Yeah, lots of coffee.
Yeah.
Lots of no, but you know, I mean, yeah, I was born this way. It's, you know, a lot of people that know me very well say it's like herding squirrels, you know, hanging with me. But I just enjoy life. I wake up happy. I wake up like this. I go to bed like this. And yeah, it can be quite exhausting for some people, but in short bursts, my clients love it. Right. So, it goes back to gratitude. I love breathing air and being a part of this world, you know, good and bad, and helping people become, you know, members of society in a better way. That's what I live for. So yeah, it's easy to get happy. You know, like I get to get into a car and drive. I get to go to an office. I get to help people buy homes. I get to hand people keys when they have little babies that have their own room now. I mean, what could be better in life, right? So that's how I do it.
Cool. So book is dust yourself off, put on some nice clothes, pick yourself up, get started. And that's the whole name of the book.
Brush your shoulders off, right?
Totally. Okay. And you had a question for me.
Yeah, you know, I mean, so one of the wonderful things about my real estate, when you ask my journey, right? My journey was like, I've always wanted to do an Airbnb. And I was very fortunate enough to go to your amazing class. And now that I have done that, I, you know, did everything to the T that you said, and I became a, you know, instant 5-star. I'm a super host right off the bat. And now I'm ready to expand, and I want more and more. And I wanted to ask you, when are you going to do another big class, or maybe a class for people that are ready to go to the next level and actually start an Airbnb type business, whether it's, you know, a little side hustle or that.
So I think for people that know me out there, I don't sell anything I don't believe in, and I'm willing to do the work before I ask somebody else to do the work. That's the type of leader I am. And I don't know, the reason why I have not gone to do like a full business is because I do use leverage a lot, and leverage is my program. I'm not a person that really gets my hands down in there and I'm going to run the whole company. I leverage through another person. And so I have a person that's still been with me since the beginning. She's amazing, and she runs everything for me, and she calls me and tells me what's going to happen, and I just do it. But she also makes me so much money, and I don't have to be down in the weeds. So she's actually been the person where I've taught her how to leverage herself. And so she has her own housekeeping business now. She has her own repair company now. She's the one that's gone off and done that. And I think what's really cool, and probably because my true north is helping real estate agents to buy and sell real estate and to do investments, right? That's my true north. Airbnb was a secondary part of that, to teach people that you can have a side business of income with an investment. And so I probably will continue to do investment courses versus the Airbnb stuff. And I'll tell you that if you do find somebody that wants to launch that, I recommend that when you say you're going to go true north, that means get a handyman that you employ, get a group of housekeepers that you employ, you know, get your insurance and have payroll and do all the right things. Because look, we just saw a pandemic, which nobody saw coming. And then we saw PPP go out. Well, because my property manager, she's so good. And because she listened to me and watched me with my other business conversations, And because she went and did that, she got PPP. So she was able to run her business through the entire thing when all the
Right.
Airbnbs closed down. So
Yeah.
she still had payroll going out. She hasn't lost any of her crew. I had a heater breakdown, in the middle of winter. She had a heater guy out there in 2 seconds because everybody listens to her in that community. And I'm like,
Right. That's
go
amazing.
girl, and I'll keep buying her properties to dump into her business. And
Right.
so, she now manages, so my one little place that I have a couple units in, she now manages like 12 of them. And it's because
Wow.
me just kind of saying, you guys should use her, you should use her, you should use her. And
I
so
need her
I,
name.
what? Yeah.
I need her name and number.
Well, she's in Newport. That's the
Oh,
problem.
does she travel?
Yeah, I would love to have her even mentor somebody in the Portland area because I think she's done such a smart job about it. But
Well,
yeah,
your class, after taking your class, like, it's changed my look at real estate. Even when I look at houses, I look at houses even with my clients and I'm like, okay, hey, look at this opportunity. You can do this, whether you want to, knowing that it's a possibility and then
right.
being able to talk on what it's like because I've actually physically done it,
Yeah.
has immensely helped my business. So I thank you so much for that.
My pleasure.
Um,
Did you get
yeah.
your parents' house Airbnb'd out?
I did. I turned it into, I actually had 2 Airbnbs running out of it. And I'm getting ready to sell that for them, which is, I'm sad because I loved running the Airbnb, but it's going to make an amazing Airbnb
Yeah.
opportunity for somebody. But yeah, I mean, now I'm just looking for the next one, right?
Yeah.
Like, what can I do? I want to have Airbnbs or something that I'm building into the community and
That's so awesome.
it's amazing.
I
It's
love it.
amazing.
I think that people have vilified Airbnbs in some communities. And what I would just say about that is that I'm a very responsible homeowner and I don't want my property damaged, and that you're going to get a little bit of bad with a lot of good. And so when you do find that one bad person, please do turn them in because
Yeah.
it sheds a bad light on the rest of us who are amazing, short-term business owners that want to make, or short-term Airbnbers that want to make sure that the community is thriving. But the reason why we encourage people to come here and stay in our Airbnbs, which by the way, I had like 6 countries that stayed in my Airbnb, I think. And I have some chick from Switzerland. I got this dude from, Germany, and I'm like, what is happening? But I think, encouraging tourism as well and
Yeah.
increasing money into our communities is super important. And so don't vilify Airbnbs. That's my big thing.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
there's terrible hotels all over the city, right? There's, and there's beautiful hotels, and it's the same thing. I think that it's an opportunity to have people see a slice of Portland, right? If you do it right.
Yeah.
So I love when, I'm an entrepreneur by heart. I've always had my own businesses, and the ability to give somebody the opportunity to make their way by utilizing something they already own, it is to me, that's the ultimate American dream, right?
Yeah.
Is to be able to have a business that is plug and play and be able to cut your own way. So I understand people's side of it, but it's a beautiful thing.
Yes, for sure. Well, Norm, thank you so much for meeting with me today. I really always enjoy, like I said, I love to steal a little bit of your energy and take that throughout the rest of my day. And I appreciate you so much. And I just love
Thank you.
everything that you're doing right now. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much, Leanne. I truly appreciate it. And everybody, it's not as scary as you think.
Thanks for joining us today on Getting to Know Your Realtor. This episode was brought to you by Lifeline for Hope. Be sure to catch us on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Stitcher, and be sure to subscribe. Thanks so much again for joining us today. Have a great day.